Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Empress Imani. Welcome and welcome if you're new, or welcome back and welcome if you're new. So, today I kind of wanted to talk to you guys about not giving up and just relaxing and letting go throughout life and trusting in God and just trusting the process because I feel like so far throughout my life I've been through a lot. And although I can, I'm aware that there are people, on the planet that have been through worse than I have. I can acknowledge that as well, but I definitely have been through a lot too, like my own right. Like I've been through some stuff, and um I just couldn't help but notice how whenever I would go through something, it would always turn out fine. And when you're in the midst of going through things, it's really hard to keep your eye at the light at the end of the tunnel. It's so easy to just get so caught up in what's in front of you and this reality, like it can be tough. Like, and then you can just get in your head and start getting a little bit depressed or just losing faith and hope. And honestly, life is so uncertain sometimes too. Like, you just never know what's gonna happen. So I think stressing about things, honestly, is just pointless if you really think about it. If you guys have been on my channel for a while, I used to work at Cricket, and that was like the worst job ever. The worst job ever. Okay, it was great for the moment. It served its purpose. But I ended up getting fired from that job because it's sales, and I just didn't like doing things unethically. Like, and that's besides the point. But at that moment, I was kind of like annoyed but happy because I hated the job so much. But I was a little bit stressed because I didn't know like what my next steps were going to be. And that's when I got the job at Sephora. And honestly, it wasn't too long after um leaving that job, and Sephora's was the place that I always wanted to work in. At, like, growing up, I've always loved makeup and beauty, and Sephora was just that spot that I was like, I'm gonna work there one day. And it's really hard to get into Sephora, actually, um, unless you like know people. But yeah, I got the call, and then I got the job, started working there, and that was like one moment in my life amongst a few others that God showed me that everything's gonna be okay. Um, without having a plan, without like, yeah, like just without having a plan, like everything still turned out exactly as it should. And fast forward, here I am now. This is my last month with Pat McGrath. And I work for another brand as well, but Pat McGrath was my main brand, my main income source, and this is my last month working with them as well. And I have no idea what my next steps are going to be. And I'm just in this like surrender. Like, I'm trusting in God. I've never had so much faith than I have in this time of my life. And I'm going to get to it. I'm going to tell you guys like why, because something extremely profound happened to me that really showed me, girl, everything's gonna be all right. You are good. Don't even stress out. Everything happens for a reason. God, my angels, my ancestors of light are guiding me, and the way for me is already paved out. I just have to trust. I just have to keep following my passions and following my dreams and, putting effort in that, and God is going to do the rest. So, yeah, I just lately, honestly, this year, as you guys know, it's a 9 year. So, nine is a symbol of, or that number means change and cycles ending, new cycles beginning. The nine is a powerful number. Honestly, all the numbers are powerful and they all have their own beautiful meaning. But it's a 9 year. I've been going through so many shifts and changes, and I somewhat recently got out of um a long-term relationship, and this was with a person that I thought that I was gonna spend the rest of my life with, but things happened. And again, like, my motto is everything happens for a reason. I need to focus on myself, and I know what I deserve, and like, it's my time to step into my power. And as soon as I let that go, just I feel like so many different opportunities um were like coming in for me, and that kind of like started this new energy. I feel like I almost timeline jumped, if I'm being honest, because I'm not gonna get too into it. That's besides the point. That's besides the point. I'm getting like so sidetracked. But that's just to say that that's the first big shift that I went through, and this is another shift that I'm in the process of going through. And I have honestly been handling it pretty well. Like, compared to like the old self, I always handled things pretty well because I can detach pretty easily, and that might be because of my sun sign being an Aquarius. But I feel like I've mastered it. And honestly, read the book The Letting Go. That book is really good, and I read that book twice. I feel like that has definitely helped me with my mentality on, life, and just living more with ease and not stressing about the outcomes of things and just little petty things. But anyways, I one day I was at work. This was recent. After finding out that this is going to be like my last month with this brand, um, the next day I go to work, and I was a little stressed out throughout the morning. I was a little stressed out, just in my head a bit, overthinking, and my energy was just a little bit annoyed. But I go to work. It's a very slow day. This is the 4th of July, actually. Very slow day. And this woman comes up to me to ask for help with a concealer shade match. And I will never forget this moment. I'll never forget her. But she went on to, she just started venting to me. She told me how she's a cancer survivor, which is amazing. How she was a little nervous because she noticed in the store that day that she has a mole on her face, and how it may be cancerous and whatnot. And she's in her 40s and her early 40s, and she has a 9-year-old daughter, because she couldn't have a kid when she was younger because of what she was going through at the time. And she's just, worries are coming up in her mind. And you know we're just talking, trying to, telling her to stay positive and whatnot. And then she starts, expressing how she feels so open to me, and my energy is so welcoming and grounded. And for some reason, she felt called to tell me that I'm protected, and she sees like she sees like this protection field around me. And it sounds crazy, but I believe in like stuff like that. Um, so it doesn't sound crazy to me. But and then it's just, I don't believe in coincidences either. Um, but yeah, besides the point, she told me that um, God's watching over me. I'm being protected, and somebody, probably like one of my ancestors, um, for some reason, I'm feeling like it's my grandma on my mom's side. She passed like a few years ago, and through like from dementia, unfortunately. Um, but she was a beautiful soul. She was such a beautiful soul, sweet woman. Um, but I feel like she's one of the ones that's watching over me. Whenever I pray, I always, thank God and, the angels that are protecting me and the ancestors. And I always make sure I say of light, because just from me personally, I don't know all my family, I don't know all my ancestors. And then most people in general, you don't know all of your ancestors. Not everybody in your family has your best interest. So um, I always make sure I say of light. But something tells me that my grandma's one of the ones that's watching over me and guiding me. And so when she said that somebody's, speaking through to her, that's who I'm thinking of too. That was the first person that I thought of. And that moment was like life changing for me in a way, because it was just so spot on. Like God just speaking through this beautiful woman who's been through so much with a beautiful soul to tell me to that everything's going to be okay. And it was the perfect moment, because I was getting in my head that day. I was a little stressed out about the future and whatnot, and that was exactly what I needed to hear. And it was just a beautiful moment. We ended up hugging, shed a few tears, and that, to me, after that, everything in my body just relaxed. Like I was just like, "You're right. I'm okay. I'm safe. I'm protected." I always knew I was protected. I always felt it. Um, but just hearing that was just like a beautiful confirmation. And if you're watching this video, whatever you're going through, just know and have this deep understanding that you are being protected and you are guided. Just remember that stressing out isn't going to change the situation, and it's not beneficial, honestly. And keep in mind that everything always works out. If you have to repeat that to yourself daily, do it. Like, because I still have to remind myself, like this 3D is like a lot sometimes, and you be, especially with what's going on in the world, like there's just a lot. Sometimes you need to remind yourself that it's okay, everything's gonna be okay. Stay positive. But you are protected. You are being guided. Pray to be able to see the signs, to be able to see what and understand what God is trying to tell you, you know, um, or where God's trying to guide you. Pray for patience, pray for wisdom, pray for understanding. Um, but I'm saying you are going to be okay. And I'm also making this video for me as well, because if I do get into a space where I'm slowly falling back into old patterns of stressing out and, overthinking and losing a little bit of faith, I can watch this and remember, no, like everything is going to be okay, because it was back then, and it was the time before that, and the time before that. It's always been okay. I've come so far from where I've been, like I've come so far. And yeah, I just want to make this video to let you know that you're going to be okay. You're safe. Wherever you're going through right now is not going to last, and something better is going to come along. Just know that in your heart and mind, and just trust in that. And that's all you need to do. But that's pretty much it. I love you guys so much. Sorry I haven't been as frequent on here as much as I feel like I should be. I post on my my YouTube stories a little bit more now because it's a lot easier because the short form content is what I've been making more because I've been pretty consistent on my Instagram. So please, it would mean the world if you guys can follow me on my Instagram as well as my sister's page on Instagram. If you guys like yoga content, that would be amazing. But I love you guys so much, and that was my testimony. I hope you guys, took something from this. I hope you guys feel positive and feel good. And yeah, I love you guys so much. I'm excited for what the future holds, and I can't wait to share more with you guys and probably have more discussions like this. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I'll see you guys in my next video.